When you prepare for a certain exam, you think you have to study all the possible materials in order to get the desired score. While this sort of behavior may sound helpful, it actually can damage your score more than you think. Hello everybody, it's me, the hero teacher, and I've got experience in teaching English and IELTS over 11 years. My own IELTS score is 8.5, and I also have graduated Cambridge CELTA program with a distinction of Pass B. In this video, I'm going to talk about which books actually can help you maximize your score in the IELTS exam. We all know that when you tell somebody that you're preparing for the IELTS exam, they start attacking you with all the possible materials that they have or have not used for actually studying this exam. This is a little frustrating because as a person who does not have any experience in studying IELTS, you may feel quite overwhelmed with the amount of studies that you have to do in order to reach your desired score. First of all, this is something you should completely ignore. I mean, you shouldn't ask for advice from everybody that you come across with. The main reason for that is each book for the IELTS studies is designed in a very unique way that can be quite helpful and resourceful for somebody and completely trash for somebody else. So that my recommendation as a person who has studied and taught IELTS for long years is to choose books whose content makes you, first of all, happy and encouraged to come back for studying later again. Therefore, this decision is yours and yours only to make. Without fully analyzing a material, a book yourself, getting familiar with its content, do not make it the primary way of studying for the IELTS exam. By the way, if you think such videos are useful for you and for the candidates around the world, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe to the channel, as it motivates me beyond measure and keeps me energetic for shooting more and more videos like this. I thank you for your support and effort. Now that we have established the ground rules for choosing specific materials for yourself to study for the IELTS exam, I would like to mention the ones that you cannot ignore studying no matter what. And these books are the Cambridge official IELTS practice books that I believe you all are familiar with. These books have been the instructors as well as the students the go-to book since the beginning of the IELTS exam. Although some candidates don't like them or find them unnecessarily hard, I believe these books are still the king of the IELTS practice. However, there is a catch that you should be or even must be very careful about. As the years pass, some IELTS practice books unfortunately lose their relevance to the actual exams that you are taking. This is because, just like other exams, IELTS is also evolving over the years, and the books that come from like 15 years ago may be sort of useless to today's tests. Therefore, not all IELTS practice books should be studied, even though you run out of practice materials, because the content that you'll see from those early books will not match at all with the exam materials that you'll see in official exams nowadays. We are in 2026 and we are expected to see book number 21, official IELTS practice book number 21 this year. And if we somehow compare book 21 to book 5 or 6 or 7, you'll obviously see that a lot has changed. A lot has changed in terms of question difficulty, in terms of context, in terms of the themes that we can see in listening and reading. So a lot of things are actually changing. That's why using the most relevant practice books will keep you upgraded about the exam question structures. That's why currently for 2026, my personal recommendation will be to start from book 14 onwards. So that's gonna make book 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 and most possibly 21 for this year. If you watch this video in 2027 or 2028, then you can kind of ignore 14 and 15 as you make progress in years. The reason for that is because, as I told you, some books actually lose their relevance when they get kind of older. However, you may think, oh gosh, this is so little exam preparation material and I might not be fully aware of the question types. I think this is where you may be a little confused or unnecessarily afraid of the material, because combining all these books, you will get roughly around 30 full listening, reading, writing, and speaking practice tests, which is more than enough to track your progress real time. Anything beyond that is not going to make you even better, or is not going to give you the full idea of what the exam actually is like. Because the reason why we practice in the first place is to be familiar with the exam format, so that 30 full tests is more than enough. And if you can actually complete all those 30 full tests, believe me, you'll be more than ready to take the IELTS exam and reach your target score. Long story short, my dears, you have to rely on official IELTS Cambridge practice books to track your progress. Anything other than these books is hard to verify and not official. Therefore, it is a little skeptical to fully trust these extra materials. At least in my practice, I haven't used anything beyond these books just to practice, and the students have been always successful. I mean, like, they had enough material just to practice their skills and understand the exam format and score what they wanted to score. However, it doesn't mean you can't find reliable sources or sources that can actually help you. Yet, it is always safe to start from the most trusted materials. Now, it is time to practice, practice, and practice. I really am looking forward to your results in the comment section below, or any questions that you like to ask me regarding IELTS materials in 2026. Thank you very much, and see you in my next videos. Bye-bye.